right? So I think that we got work to do. You know what I mean? So because it's really on us at this point, you know. So.
And see, I like what you said. You know, just because we know doesn't keep us from trying.
That's correct. That's
right.
Right.
Because
That's
we
right.
are supposed to try, and those are, and you know, in the spirit of privilege, you know, as Christians, we are privileged. And you know, the way I grew up, there was some privilege involved. I don't have an issue with privilege, with the definition of privilege, what privilege really is. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is what people do with privilege.
That's it.
Because as far as we know, as far as the Word of God is concerned, with that privilege comes responsibility.
That's correct.
Amen. To whom much is given,
much is required.
Much is required.
Sure.
So, you know, all through Scripture, I see a mandate. I see a command to those who have to take care of those who have not.
That's correct.
That's where I have, and I see the problem, right? Because you know, we can't get past the greed. We can't get past looking at the differences to get to the love. We can say we love.
That's right.
Yeah.
But when it gets down to between the, you know, choosing love and the fear of losing, that's when we find out where that love really is. Amen.
It is, man. You know,
I'm not preaching,
but he just
good some stuff. That's some good stuff. And then we got to get over the stereotypes. You know, I like true stories. And so we left the studio about, I don't know, when was that? A month and a half, when the guy said, walked out. He said, man, you know, I want something from Starbucks. And my first thing is, man, this guy. I said yes. I said he's gonna go in there and just spit up my card. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we walked in. I was like, all right. I said, just get what you want, man. Brother got a cup of coffee, man, a small cup of coffee. And I just looked at him. The spirit just beat me up. I said, man, you know.
Wow.
And I was like, he said, that's all I wanted, man.
Wow.
That's all I wanted, man. Yeah, it was a cup of coffee.
Right.
I was like, dang. So we can't. We have been institutionalized also, you know, as black folks, you know. This whole thing of light skin, dark skin, that's been going on since slavery.
That's been going on ever since the beginning of man.
Man. So we gotta. So as a community, as Mark was saying, I mean, we gotta just get on the proper pathway. And Jesus has given us parables and extraordinary examples, washing the disciples' feet, the woman with the issue of blood, when the woman was about to be stoned, you know what I'm saying? He rolled in the dirt. I mean, just examples over examples is really inexcusable, man. To call ourselves Christians and don't walk in love. We know we're gonna make some mistakes and say some cuss words here and there. I mean, it's just gonna happen. You know, especially you Christians watching these football games.
And he don't went there. Call the boys out, man. I was convicted like a mother. Hey, but I think one of the important things too is that as a people, and this can be people in general, but you know, we got to be careful because we have the propensity or the tendency to love stuff that can't love us back. You know, we love money, we love material, we love fame, but that stuff can't love you back. And we lose sleep over people who wouldn't lose sleep over us.
That's right.
So it's like, you know, like we got our preferences, right?
That's right.
John said he didn't have a dog in a fight.
Right.
You know, Mark, he was like, you know, he ain't really like the outcome, but he's still good. But at the same time, it's like whatever the outcome is, I'm gonna catch my Z's regardless, man. Because I know ain't too many people, except for the people in my circle, gonna lose Z's over me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, you gotta know who cares about you. Ultimately, you know. And you just got to keep pushing, man, because the fact of the matter is, media will want you to believe that this is just going to be a hateful society and this and that. But everywhere I go, yesterday we went to have dinner. I sat down in you know, a couple white gentlemen. Man, we talked like we knew each other in the past. You know, so I refuse to allow the media to perpetuate something that will cause further, you know, a spirit of divisiveness. And so I think that's why I think love is the key, man. And it'll overcome all.
Come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. You're going to hear more about you know, what's going on, more of the encouraging word. I want to thank you, brothers. I'm so glad to hang out with you guys.
Same here,
man. I appreciate you.
Sure.
But God said right? That it's going to be okay for us. But there's some things that come wrong with that. There's some responsibilities, you know.
Right.
And you know, one of the things that I've been hearing a lot of as well about the election is the evil of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of warn I want to warn a couple of people about calling people evil.
Yes.
Because we're all capable of evil.
That's correct.
Right.
But as far as I know right now, today, according to the Word of God, no one is 100% evil 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Another scripture I want to throw out, because I want to hear what you guys have to say about that too, is to remind everybody that we battle not against flesh and blood.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
actually, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have the first orange president, man. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm excited to have the first orange president, bro. But yeah, that's
The first
that's
orange president.
The orange and gray goes well.
Mandarin, man.
Yeah,
But nah,
I love you,
but likewise, man. But to speak on that, man, we don't war against flesh.
That's correct.
You know, but everything that we see would have us to believe that we do. You know, because that's the devil's plan. His plan is unfolded masterfully, man. If you was to look at, if you could see the devil right now in that corner, man, he's rubbing his hands together like Mr. Burns, man, on The Simpsons.
That's right.
You know,
That's
so
right. That's right.
he's like, yeah, they taking the bait. And so I think it makes it more and more important for us to understand that, man, it's a spirit of evil in this world, and we got to do our best to love through it.
Amen, amen. Stick around with us because we've got the Jaded Life, Eternal coming up.
Yes,
Mark's going to come up with his segment in just a minute. Right now we've got Jesus is Real, Black Street. Hang in there with us.
Who's ahead of our house, thanking him for his many blessings and all he's done for us. And
All right.
Bad boys
we'd
right
like to
there.
share all he's given us.
I love that song. They did this song up, man. Marv, I have in your segment, let's see.
Are they playing games?
They
Oh,
lost.
they
They
lost?
lost.
Yeah.
What's the score?
Cowboys got a touchdown compared.
Who got an alien?
I don't want to hear.
Oh, okay.
No, but the quarterback, the brother throw it?
I don't know.
So,
Huh?
yours. You and JJ's, I got a couple of them here. You want a music pad under you?
Yeah, that's cool. A little something
Same
soft.
one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, let's see, I've got Knock Knock, I've got Cool to Be a Christian, of course your interlude.
Oh, that's cool. Is that the lead in or the bed that be underneath it?
No, that's in between, you know, in between in between, just something sandwiched in, kind of give you a little break.
Okay.
Like when you start off from your segment,
Okay.
and you do your thought,
Mm-hmm.
then you have a little break, and then you come back with the conclusion.
Okay.
Because I want to keep that little spot in between, you know, to give you a little break to catch a thought, or we can talk about
Okay.
whatever. But also, that's going to give us an opportunity to put a sponsor in there. Like if you got a sponsor,
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
So you
Not
gonna
if
cue me
you got a
up.
sponsor, when you get a
Exactly.
sponsor.
Exactly.
So no, you can just cue me. So which one you want? Cool to Be Christian?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that'll work.
And I'll get some more. So does that make sense?
So basically, when we come in, you just gonna bring me in. It's gonna be a break between like when I speak and coming in back to like
Yeah,
that
you
conversation.
just tell me, like if you need a breath or whatever, you know, or we just cue each other. But I want to play one of y'all songs,
Okay.
you know, in between everything that you do. Just for the exposure, just, you know.
Okay.
So, but there's a choice. So what's going to happen here, we got a minute now, Mark.
Okay.
What's going to happen here is I'm just going to go straight to the music bed, cue you, and you come on. When you come on, okay?
Yes, sir.
Speaking through your mic for me real quick.
1, 2, check 1, 2. Can you hear me?
No. I just want to make sure that I just turn you up.
May the grace of God rest on you and abide with you forever. In Jesus' name.
What's happening, y'all? We back at you. This is the Jaded Life. This is the segment where we talk about how to live the jaded life. That's the the JADED, Jesus all day, everyday life. And that's basically the using Jesus as our bar in all that we do, and using his word to practically apply to every area of our lives, right?
Okay.
So that's the Jaded Life. And you can kind of learn more about that too at jadedeternal.com. But I just want to talk about briefly a time to love, right? I think that this is a time more than ever to love. Is if we don't be careful, we can allow the media to perpetuate a spirit of hate, a spirit of evil, and we'll all buy in and be at each other's necks. And when that happens, we're not able to accomplish anything. So I think it's really more than ever, it's a time to love. So I just got 4 quick points.
Okay.
And y'all can step in at any time, but I just got 4 quick points. The first one is the question you got to ask yourself at this time as the body of believers is, do you believe God? Do you believe God? Because that's a prerequisite for living the jaded life. Is knowing that God's plan is better than your plan or anything that you thought should have happened.
There you go.
And regardless of what things look like, that plan can never be derailed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And so do you believe God? Do you believe that no matter what happens and what it looks like horizontally before your eyes, do you believe that God is still in control of that and that he's still on the throne? Or do you believe that our measly political system can derail what God wants to do?
There you go.
Because if you believe that, then you off track already, and you won't be able to attain that bar. And number 2 is it's all good, man. It's all good, right?
Yeah.
All things work together for the good. It's all good, man. And so, like I said, anything that happens, and this can be whether it's in your personal life,
Right.
whether it's in your circle or your family,
Yes.
whether it's in the system in the U.S. or worldwide, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And I love them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when something happens, that gut shot can still be there, right? Because you remember
Right,
you said the
right.
disappointment that you kind of felt that night.
Right.
It can feel like a shot to the gut, and it could have been whether you were more worried about a candidate or the undertones that
That's right.
allowed that candidate to make it to where he made it. So there's going to be some sadness, and that's okay. There's going to be some times where we as people have our moments. But the question is, can we get back to the word and understanding and believing God to understand that it's still going to be all good? So it's all good. Number 3, man, I just believe that hate is too heavy. Hate is too heavy of a cross for me to bear, man. I got too much going on. I got too many people who love me. Too many people who are dependent on, us as a people.
That's right.
I don't have time to hate you, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter, man. You can hate me all you want to, but I don't ever see it getting to the point where you can hate me enough to make me hate you back.
All right.
You might be able to make me mad for a little moment,
That's right. Okay.
but you can never make me hate. I think hate is a much heavier cross to bear than love is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so number 4, love always wins.
That's right.
Right? Do we believe that? Do we believe love always wins? Because whether or not we believe that is going to determine how we attack every situation. And so if you believe love always wins, because I believe that people who made a difference in society, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he believed that love wins, love prevails.
Yeah.
So when they brought the dogs out in the fire hoses and all that, he thought that, hey, we got to stick to what we came to do. We got to stick to the morals, the values based on the word that we set out on, and then let God do it, because that's how he works. He works through obedience in us. So if we commit to that obedience to love and that bar to love, we can see him do miraculous things.
So the points of first one is believe.
The first one is, do you believe God? I'm gonna go through them right quick. Do you believe God?
Right.
It's all good.
Right.
Hate is too heavy.
Right.
And love always wins.
All right.
So Christians that invest in lottery tickets, because you know we got, especially you black folk.
I don't know where he's going with this, but it's gonna be good though.
So you know, so we're talking. Do we believe in God?
Hey, Mark, meet John.
Yeah.
So what's your perspective on that? Because it happens a lot in our community.
Right.
Poor blacks making big investments in lottery tickets. And your point is outstanding about do we love God? And like you're saying, are we obedient? And then we have to prove that obedience. It's not like it's you go to it's like a gym. You go every other day. It's like a 24-hour deal. So what? Because these are real things that affect us.
Oh, no doubt. I think it speaks to kind of our mindset, and mindset is something that can happen to us perpetually or gradually that we may not even see it. It's like they say, if you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, he's gonna hop right out.
Yeah.
But if you put it in some lukewarm water and just gradually increase the temperature, he gonna stay in there until he becomes frog legs for you to eat for Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm about to say.
I love that analogy.
And so, to speak to that point, man, I think that's kind of what's behind, those buying those lottery tickets, because if you were to spend it over your life and you could see a data chart, right, you would know that even if you win $1,000 or $2,000 on the ticket one day, you already spent $6,000 or $7,000 prior to that trying to get that. And so it's kind of a trick. They really got you in that pot and they increasing it, and the lottery makes money hand over fist by making you think that you winning something perpetually or here and there, but really over time you're really losing. So I think it's a mindset, and if we're not careful we can fall into those types of things, and not just in that regard, but in any realm.
Well, let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to play a song by Jay and Marv. It's cool to be a Christian. And when we come back, we're going to talk more to Marv about his points. It's better to love. It's better to love. Sit with us.
H-R-I-S-T-I-A-S-E-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-S. Who to be a Christian? Who to be a Christian?
I think you played this at our church picnic one time, right? I like this one. I remember hearing this one. Yeah, I remember hearing this. I think we played it during like one of our youth things.
Yeah.
This is the joint this is probably one we the most hyper joint we did.
You need to come and do what? It would be nice for you guys to come like on. I don't know if you can come on the fourth Sunday. I know you guys have church too.
We can work anything out.
I would love for y'all to come and perform at our church on the fourth Sunday.
Okay.
And
we like to come out.
you got to hear him deliver a message.
Okay.
And youth ministry is his passion.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's good to deliver a message.
I appreciate it.
That's good to know.
But yeah, we would love to come out, Uncle Mark knows we'll make it happen.
That's good to know. I wish I would have known that for you Sunday.
Yeah, him and Jay's passion is youth ministry, man.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to youth anymore. But I'm going to me and Kevin are going to meet with them Wednesday. Yeah, I'm handing it over.
You're gonna still support them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's your passion.
Yeah, that's my babies. Yeah. So, and I'll be Michelle's mentor, and Kevin will be Gerard's mentor.
You spoiled all them kids.
That's what they said. When are you leaving us?
First orange president, though, man.
Huh?
First orange president, boy.
First orange president.
Vitamin C on deck, man. That's a lot of vitamin C coming to the society, man. You feel me?
It's trying to change his complexion.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Somebody gonna text and say, man, but that ain't loving.
Yeah.
That ain't loving.
And those are people that don't know we can have some fun with it too. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It wasn't nothing really, it wasn't nothing aimed at his character. This is all fun and games.
And if you think about it,
I know
you don't know any better.
Yeah.
I remember when I was asking when my son was learning his colors, I said, what color is BB? You remember my mother, he was like, what did he say? Pink. He said my mother was pink. And I said, what color am I? He was like red, because I turned red real easy.
Yeah.
And I said, what color is daddy? And he was like, black. And daddy was like, what color are you? He's like, brown. And so he said, Trump, he probably would have said orange.
Right, you know? Just calling it like it is. You
Right.
know?
As long as I see, that's what
My dog is orange. That what it is.
Yeah, we're going to extend your segment so we can talk a little bit about those 3 points.
Cool.
Come out into a song, and then go into TripGear.
Okay.
And since we don't have a guest, we can extend all of it.
Okay.
But do want to spend at least a 15-minute segment, man, talking about that thriving for the holiday.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I believe for you and for me. I believe. I'm a C. I'm a C-H. I'm a C-H. I'm a C-H-R-I-S-T-I. I'm a C-H-R-I-S-T-I. I'm a C. I'm a C. I'm a C-H. I'm a
30 seconds, gentlemen, 30 seconds. Going hot. That's Jay and Marv.
Yup.
It's cool to be a Christian.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
indeed.
Yeah, look up Marv and Jay. You can Marv. Where you guys?
Yeah. Jay and Marv. That's Jay ampersand MARV. With all the necessary spaces. Y'all know what it do. Y'all know that grammar life. But Jay and Marv, you can find us on iTunes.
Okay.
You can find us on Google Play, Spotify, whatever. And that joint that's out now is called Holla.
Yeah.
So the joint that we have out is called Holla. And joint means song for those who may not understand. Sorry about that, you know. That's that 34th and Hawthorne coming out of you.
Yeah, thanks, Marv. Hey,
Yes, sir.
give us those points again. The first point was you got to believe.
Yeah.
We've got to believe.
Right. So a time to love, right?
Time to love, right.
The first point is, do you believe God? So
Do you
do you
believe
believe His word? Do you
Right.
believe His plan cannot be derailed? 2, it's all good. 3, hate is too heavy.
Right.
4, love always wins. So love is like the superhero in the movie.
Yes.
He might look like he in trouble
Yeah.
sometimes, but he always prevails in the end. You did.
Yeah. Man, that's good.
And
So,
then it's
yeah,
funny you
man.
mention that because that's a superhero
Oh,
buff
yeah.
right there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Growing up as a kid, my older brothers and sisters left me. I don't have them now, but about 3,000 to 5,000 comic books. So I'm
Wow.
like, the kids love it because I know the origin of all of the Marvel, even DC. So yes, but that's so you're saying, Marv, that we're like love agents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The biggest thing for us to do is to, with the jaded life, the Jesus all day, everyday life, is to look at Christ, to examine His life, right? To examine how He engaged people, to examine how He loved people, and to try to mirror that, right? And so that's really just what we're called to do, and the only way to do that is to believe first.
There you go.
That His way is better.
And I think that we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves in a lot of different areas. A lot of us believe that love comes easy, and we forget to look at we forget to look at the life of Christ in respect to the fact that what He did to show His love was not easy
At all.
It did not come easy.
Right.
It's nice when you loving somebody who loves you.
Exactly.
And cares about you. That's real simple, real easy to do when you
Right.
you got brothers and sisters, you got friends and family that are easy because they love you. But that's the easy part.
Right.
And that's the part that we are challenged. That the other side of that is the part that Christ is challenging. What about the ones that are not that loving?
Yes.
Exactly. And that's so key.
How do we get to that?
Yeah, we discussed that today, at church. And the thing is that, and I always go back to this because it's so true, is that your words can't really help anyone or be beneficial unless a person knows that you love them or you care about them.
That's right.
Right? And so, like, if I see a young man, like, if something in my neighborhood that I don't necessarily like to see, like, I might see the young men with their pants or like with their belt right in the middle of their thighs, right?
Yeah.
And now I gotta ask myself, if I'm gonna go approach this man, why am I doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
Am I doing it because I really want to see him be better and I want to see him, the potential in him come to fruition? Or am I doing it because I don't want that in my neighborhood? Right? So, and it's going to show when you engage. It's going to show when you engage. If your platform is love, it's going to show. If your platform is I want you out of here and I'm tired of seeing you around here, it's going to show. And so, like you said, it's not easy at all. And the only way for us to do is keep ourselves attached to God, and let the power of the Spirit work in us.
That's it.
Because without that, we are not even able to achieve that level of love. A love that's a selfless love and a love that looks for the benefit of others.
That's powerful.
And then in the realm of relationships, which is what we're talking about today, as to help us to thrive through the holiday. Actually, that helps us to thrive every day as Christians.
That's correct.
But in the realm of relationships, I tell folks all the time, before you start correcting our youth, before you start to jump on them about different things that they're doing wrong, ask yourself this: have you spoke to them lately?
Right.
Have you just said hi?
There you go.
What kind of relationship you have with them? And I think that makes all the difference in the world, because it's really difficult to correct someone, and it's really difficult to accept correction when I really don't have a relationship with you.
Exactly.
Even though you might be right.
Right.
Even though you may be right. So it's fascinating that you brought that up. In love, I got to ask myself, why am I?
And the funny thing is that ties into, and I know we'll talk about this later, but striving or thriving through the holidays. There's two sides of that coin. There's the side of the coin that looks to preserve yourself, and then there's the side of that coin that looks to help others.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, that's one thing that we're able to challenge ourselves with every day is like, am I building relationships? Am I staying isolated? When I have when I get a conviction that God is calling me to do something, am I willing to act on it?
There you go.
And this is speaking for myself too, because it's tough like that. But as especially as Christians, but as people in general, that's why it's on us. Because if we commit to helping other people and for their benefit first, then it's always going to bless us too. Because the Bible tells us that he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Amen. So if I'm aiming to help you, then I'm going to be refreshed by that automatically.
Even though that's not my main motive.
Even though that's not my main motive at all.
I do know that.
I do know that. That's a symptom of loving people.
Amen.
A good symptom.
Right?
Sometimes we just got to pause, man. I mean, that's what we don't do. We haven't been taught that, really, how to just pause and just allow the Spirit to develop our next word, our next phrase, is just chill. I went into schools and one of the inner city schools last year, and these two cats came up and they were hitting on the window to get to the office, and I said, "Why are y'all doing that?" And one cat just cussed me out. I mean, just look in the office where the principal's at, and no one said it. I just looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Oh, my name is so-and-so." I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And just had a conversation with him like nothing ever happened. And that's the love that, Marvin, that's the love you're talking about. But it takes time to build up that type of commitment. It's like maybe 5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, 3, I wouldn't have done that. I'd been like, man, it's on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but we have to start to, again, measure our time with Christ. And once we start measuring that time, the more quality time we spend with Christ, and then the more we like Christ. And a lot of us, we kind of overlook that part of it, because you talked about love. The foundation is having a relationship with Christ.
Yeah, it is.
And then you talked about haters, because, as you said before, that's perpetuated in the media. All this hate. It's just cool. Everybody's got to have a hater. And then because of who we are as a people, man, we put those layers on, man, you know what I'm saying? We say, okay, so-and-so hate, and I'm in the school system every day at, all different grade levels, man, and this whole preponderance of mess about, you know, kindergarten girls, first grade girls. That's where you learn that from, or my mama, or my sister, or my dad. And said, no, that's not the way you're supposed to operate. So we have to find better ways of understanding, of knowing God better, to have better relationships, not only with God, but with people we walk beside. Yeah.
Right.
Amen.
Yes, sir. And I like that, because it's like you gotta kind of remember that, you know, love will cause you to fight through even things that you're limited by, right? Because some of us are introverts, you know, some of us are very outgoing, you know, some of us want to be the life of a situation, some of us don't want to be seen at all, right? But God is calling.
We see you.
Yeah. But God is calling everybody,
Yes.
you know, to use Him. Like you said, that was key. The closer you get to Christ, the more your heart starts to change anyway. So that's the foundation. And I think through that, there's grace for everything that you need. Everything you need to accomplish, every task that you need to face, I think there's grace for that, and it starts in your relationship with Christ.
Yes, sir.
Amen. You heard it from Marv. The jaded life,
Yes, sir.
eternal. Jesus all day, every day. You can hear that
Yes, sir.
every week here.
I'm talking
Thanks,
about.
Marv. That's deep.
Appreciate
man.
you.
But here's William McDowell with Draw Me Close. Coming up next, we have TripGear for you. Stick with us. Thanks for hanging out. This was 8 minutes long, so
All right.
we'll go right into TripGear. What you want underneath here?
You can put something.
So we're already not getting along today, so your trip here probably gonna be something I ain't gonna like.
Hey, I'm gonna put her in my spot. I'll be behind the camera.
Right,
It
I'm
ain't
like,
just
people
you.
come take over.
Yeah.
It ain't just you.
He's like, why would I sing in your trip here?
Be untapped.
That's hilarious, yo.
That's not love.
What happened to TripGear?
Right, well, something's wrong with the
We just talking about love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We still got work to do, don't we? You want something slow or upbeat
It
instrumental?
could be, so now you got my stuff?
Let me see. I think I do, John.
I think you played the last time.
Yeah, I think I do.
That's not okay. What do you want?
Okay, I've got breakfast. No, medium fast, smooth. Harvest of Love, smooth, and Pillow Talk, smooth.
Oh, you got jazz?
That's yours.
That's what I mean. You got jazz? I mean, that's what I mean. Is it, does one say jazz or middle or in between?
All of them, two of them say jazz. One of them says smooth, cool.
Yeah, jazz is cool.
Okay, which one?
Don't make it
Pillow Talk or Harvest?
What was the second one?
Pillow Talk or Harvest of Love?
Hold on.
Pillow talk. Yeah, pillow talk.